Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new episode of Eve Echoes. Tonight on the show, we're going to announce the winners of this past week's community question of the week, which was, by the way, drones. What do you think they need to be nerfed or improved? What's your opinion on them? We got quite a nice load of comments, spot on. Really happy with the amount of feedback and suggestions that you guys gave out. We're going to be compiling all this amount of awesome feedback, and I'm going to hand it over to the devs. Maybe they will get some insight of what the player base actually wants in terms of drones. There's some good things mentioned, there's some bad things mentioned, of course. No feature is without flaw, but drones are clearly one of the flawed weapon systems in the game. Not necessarily on having good damage being the most reliable weapon type in PvE. You know, you can kite, you can do stuff, but in terms of PvP and among other things, drones suffered a lot since the betas. They've been nerfed, they lack functionalities, they lack windows or panels just so you can see their health. The fitting of drones, the swapping of drones in space is a pain in the ass, and there's a lot to mention, but thank you all for participating. We'll be announcing the winners in a moment. But for now, I just want to mention that this is probably the most non-eventful maintenance in terms of patch notes and fixing. We'll also get to touch on this after we announce the winners. So we'll see who are the two luckiest pilots that will be receiving a 1 Omega combo clone each. Let's see what random.org has in store for us. I don't want to keep you guys too much in waiting. I know you guys are anxious, and the first winner is Jim Steele. And his comment was, improvements. I can't see how damaged my drones are without locking onto my own drones. Why is this? It's just silly, as I end up shooting my own drones. Yep. That's correct. Oh, and I also get a crime timer. Yep. I'd like to be able to do things like armor link my own drones, so that rather than my drones, which are easily shot down, taking hits, my own armor does. Or perhaps I can remote repair them with my ship's capacitor or remote repairs. I haven't tried. They do work. You can repair them using your remote repairs, but they die too easily anyway. I don't think you have enough time to just start a cycle of armor repping or something. I'd also like to see improvements with the drone control UI. Why can't I swap drones from the main interface without having to swap into the fitting menu, which then covers my UI and I can't see who's targeting me, what's happening in battle. I'm sure some people can manage this better, but I can't. But it's just really clunky interface. I perfectly agree with you, Sam. Finally, I'd like to see faction drones. For example, Caldari Navy drones as rewards from mission chests, and pirate faction drones from scout anomalies make them worth hunting again. And nerfs, not really much wrong with them, though from a lore perspective I would prefer if the drone bonuses of ships were race-specific, damage, even thermal damage multiplier for armored drone boats, rather than being a one-size-fits-all based on what rats you are fighting. If ammo crystals do come out, maybe the balance will go back in favor of other ships, since at the moment, unlike drones, turret users are forced to use whatever weapon system the ship gets a bonus for. Couldn't agree with that more. Some very interesting points here. This will definitely be sent to the developers. Thank you, Jim Steele. Congratulations. Let's move on to our next winner. And random.org says it's John Lindquist. Question of the week answer. The devs can improve the ease of switching drones. Correct. Add a third option when dragging drones to switch that drone stack. A small window could open asking which one to switch it with from the drone bay. This would help big time for PvP drone boats to allow them to easily switch the drones out for whatever damage type is needed most at the moment. Could not help out if kiting though, because recall time would be crazy long if you do this 3 times per rat. Well said. Thank you, John Lindquist. Thank you both for participating. Please leave a comment below with your in-game name and your character ID so I can pass that information down for you guys to receive your prizes. Thank you all for participating. Please stick around until probably the end of the video because we will be having another community question of the week. Of course, right after we get through the patch notes. It shouldn't take long, but we're also going to take a little bit to talk about the upcoming series that I'm going to be having on the channel. So let's move on to the patch notes for Wednesday, 27th of January, and we've all been expecting a couple of fixes, maybe some announcements, or maybe new stuff coming out, but we've all seen the Trello roadmap, and at least for January, there was nothing in there. The roadmap starts with February all the way, and it contains an insurance system and a Valentine's Day event, which is Guardians Gala. But for January, there's nothing in there. There has been an announcement by the Eve Echoes official Facebook page, and it basically tells us that after the launched bookmarks and optimization to auditing, they have interviewed the armor versus shield balance. We're currently working on balancing this, though the time of releasing these initial changes hasn't been finalized yet. Insurance system, excited to announce the insurance system will be coming in February. The chat text and the battle against bots, the black screen issues, those are all items that were mentioned, but they did not arrive yet in the January version. This is the last January version that we will get. After that, it's all February. So I'm guessing the developers are currently focusing on finishing up and tidying up the insurance system. At least that's what I can deduce. In terms of tomorrow's patch, we will be getting the new features, which is players will no longer be removed automatically from the help channel. The help channel will always be displayed in the chat window, and number 3, icons in the space can be turned on or off in settings. Now, this might be the only important thing worth mentioning in this patch document. Icons in the space can be turned on and off in settings. Basically tells you that you can switch off the tags that you can see in space, you know, like not in the overview, of course. Those will remain there, but just the icons that you see in space, be it the planetary icons, the anomalies icons, and player icons in the ship and drones and everything. I would really go for having these icons be customizable just like the overview. So if you want to, I don't know how should we call it, space view and overview. So in space view, you should be able to do the same as in overview, not have a general setting to basically remove all brackets or remove all icons. Maybe I don't want to see some specific things and I want them removed. For example, in fleet battles, maybe I want to see players, but I want to remove all the drones. Maybe in whatever circumstance, I really want to remove seeing specific icons or stations or whatever is causing me lag, but maybe I do want to keep all the other icons. Well, this is one setting that will be applying for all the icons in space. You will basically be deactivating that if you do not want to see icons. It's good, I strongly agree that is good for fleets, because icons, especially when there's multiple entities in space, including drones, can cause a lot of problems, and can cause a lot of lag, can even lead to disconnects or client crashes. So that's one good point. But again, I really like to have this customizable. Mentioned this in a couple of my previous videos, and that's pretty much it on the patch notes. Now, what are we going to follow up next on the channel updates and what we're going to be handling in the following days and probably the entire week? We're going to do a tutorial series about sovereignty, about corporation citadels, about outposts. How do you build them? How do you manage them? How do you, like, the whole process of anchoring, setting up permissions, adding, I don't know, various stuff to, like modules and how do you configure them. The Citadels don't have much though. They don't have a fitting panel like the Outpost. You cannot fit weapons and stuff, but I'm hoping they will be. For now, we just know that they will be supporting additional structures, but not fitted inside the Citadel. Just going to be like other structures that you anchor around the Citadel in a given perimeter that enables certain functions and give specific bonuses to the system that they're inside. So we'll touch on those once we start doing the videos. So that's what the channel is going to be doing for the next couple of days / week. Going to do a tutorial series exactly on that, Citadels and Outposts. What are they, how do you deal with them, and what do you set up, how do you edit, how do you manage. So that's pretty much it on today's video. As I promised, we're going to have a new community question of the week with yet another 2 Omega Combo clones given away as prizes, and we're going to issue another question, of course. So given the fact that we've seen in the Trello task board or the Trello roadmap that there's a big balance update coming or prepared for us later this year. I mentioned several times that balance is something that you do continuously. It's not something that you can do like that and that's it. I mean, you finish balancing. You'll revisit it next year. It should be done systematically. It should be done step by step. Do a balance, see what happens, do another one. You know, go from iteration to iteration. Try to build the line of balance. But just blapping over a balance patch that we don't know what it will cause, if it will cause more problems than currently are. I don't know, but given the fact that we're going to see a big balance, I'm going to ask you guys for the community question of the week. What do you think is the aspect in the game that needs most balance, or the most balance adjustments at the moment? Because I always start first, I'm going to start first and I'm going to share my opinion. In my opinion, the most broken thing in the game right now, it's armor. It can be armor, it can be drones, it can be, I don't know, some other specific function like the market not having full functionality, but the most important balance thing for me currently in the game, it's an entire class of ships being crap. Yep, it's an entire class of ships not being played, not being used, except for the interdictor versions, because, well, it lays down bubbles, but that's pretty much it. All the other variants are subpar or mediocre at best. Yes, I'm talking about the destroyers. The destroyers who should be, in theory, or at least on paper, or whatever you want to call it, should be an anti-frigate platform. It should provide escorting decent amount of DPS to get rid of frigates, and at least to be faster than cruisers in order to, I don't know, don't get blap just like that. Well, guess what? Frigates wreck destroyers currently. Cruisers wreck destroyers, and also cruisers travel at speeds way much faster than destroyers. What the hell, mate? So destroyers definitely need not only love and big hugs and kisses and everything. They need to be revamped, they need redesign, probably the fittings, or the slots loadout, the stats, definitely the speed, the damage. Again, damage may tie into the high slot partitioning. Destroyers currently are at the lowest bottom. They are completely ignored by players. Unless you are a new player and basically you need to pass through destroyers, people will probably just get them, try them a bit, and then they'll immediately move to cruisers because they get the cruiser from the login rewards. Not from the or is it from the logging rewards or is it from the tutorials? Either way, they get a free train of cruisers, and that's it. I mean, this is where the destroy experience ends. As soon as you get that cruiser, it's fuck that shit. I'm not playing with it. Look at my stabber, it's going so much faster. Why would I play it with a destroyer? So that's my question for you guys. Please try to answer. The more the merrier, and the more information you give out, the best. And maybe we can do some community balance. Maybe we can provide the devs with more information and help them understand that the game really needs fixes, not just capital ships, but existing features. So my opinion is just surrounding the destroyers. You guys can have so many ideas, so many issues that you can observe in the game. Let me know in the comments section. That's it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and a very big shout out to my channel supporters. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.